Could you confirm that the Coalition's position is that you would be looking to get the net overseas migration number down to 160,000? And if that's the case, doesn't that imply from your own analysis that we wouldn't just be looking at a per capita recession, we'd be looking at an actual recession?
In answer to your question about NOM, we've said over the coming years we'll achieve a 25% reduction in the NOM versus what Labor has.
I think that was the permanent migration number.
And the NOM, and so that's a reasonable number for, we think, to achieve. Permanent migration is part of that. So too, as I said in the speech, is making sure that we've got a sensible level of international students.
I was going to ask you about nuclear policy, but I think I need to clear up migration. You've said a 25% reduction in the net overseas migration intake is the Coalition's policy. Peter Dutton has said he'd reduce it from 260 to 160,000 next year. That's more than 25%.
Yeah, but that's over. I'm talking about over the 4 years, David. So look, the position here is this. Well, Peter's already given you, as you know, the permanent migration numbers and the overall numbers over the next couple of years. Over the coming years, there'll be, a term of government, there'll be 25% reduction. So that's the plan.
Okay, just to be clear though, on net overseas migration, is it a 25% reduction next year or not?
No, I said over the full term of government.
Over 3 years?
Over 3.
A 25% reduction. Okay, and that was a settled Coalition position?
No, I've already said that, David. I've already said that. By the way, I'm delighted to get your question. I thought you'd asked me enough questions last Sunday, but it's good to see you back at the microphone.
At risk of really annoying you, would you spell out exactly what your policy is on net overseas migration? Because there seems to be quite a bit of confusion driven by the fact that your numbers don't seem to stack up with Peter Dutton's.
Well, I don't agree with that, and I've laid them out. And
I lay them out again?
So Probes, I've already answered that question. I'm not going to answer it again, and I've been very clear about it, and I'll leave it to you to make the commentary, but our position is clear. Look, at the end of the day, we think we can free up 100,000 homes for Australians. And one of the important levers, is not the only one, but one of the important levers to achieve that is to make sure we have an immigration rate, a net overseas migration rate, to use the technical jargon, that is consistent with what our housing sector can build, and that's what this policy is all about, and that's how the 100,000 has come about. We would strongly encourage the government to implement the policies that we've outlined tomorrow, and that number can be substantially higher. So that's where it sits, Probes, and I think it's pretty straightforward. You free up houses because your net overseas migration is lower, and I've laid that out.